right, my friends, how are you today? Aaron here bringing you your daily horoscope for Tuesday, the 6th of April, 2021. We've got the sun in the middle degrees of Aries. We've got the moon moving through the middle degrees of Aquarius. And about between 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning, the moon is going to be conjunct Saturn. Saturn adds pressure to things. Saturn is the boundaries, is the limits. Our emotional moon, our emotional needs, is getting faced with the pressure of Saturn right now, early in the morning, again, depending where you're at. But we're going to be feeling this pressure a little bit throughout the day as what is our emotional limit, right? What is our emotional limit to a given situation, to a given circumstance? What are we willing to put in before we withdraw? And this is an interesting concept because what plays on later in the day, I will show you. As the moon moves forward, well, I'll take it back at this point. Yeah, there you go. 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, moon conjunct Saturn. And as our emotional moon is moving through the sign of Aquarius, looking at the picture of the future, having a vision for ourselves, a vision for our life, and us putting on that director's cap and taking an objective point of view instead of just being the star or the drama of the show. This is taking an emotional step backward and taking the big picture look, right? So then we've got this little trine, sextile over here to the sun. This is all about empowerment, okay? This is you feeling yourself, you drawing, it's like sitting down to paint the picture. Not only do we have this vision of not seeing the blank canvas for what it is, but seeing the vision of what that canvas could be. This is you showing up and saying, yes, I'm willing to do the work today. I'm willing to put forth that effort and energy, which is fantastic. So it's like we have this emotional, how much are we going to give into a situation? And then we have this kind of empowerment. Okay, which to me, this is like when something gets tough, where do we give up? Do we push through something? Is it pushing through with force? Is it pushing through out of ego? Or is it completing something and sticking to the task no matter how difficult it may be? And there is a difference between the two. Okay, if we're in an argument and we just want to keep going to get our point across to the other person so that they understand our point of view, this could be forceful. If we're using that same kind of energy someplace else in determination, that's kind of like the glory, the beauty of this energy is determination to break through. And of course, we're talking about Aquarius, which is the breakthrough sign. Now, plot thickens. We have 3 planets lining up at 20 degrees. So we have the moon in air sign of Aquarius, trine to Mars in Gemini. This is about knowledge. This is about seeking truth. This is about using our mental wit. And both the moon, trine, Mars are both creating a sextile over here to Venus in the sign of Aries. Remember, these sextiles are just as similar energy to that trine where it's an easy flow. No hurdles, no obstacles in the way. Where Saturn early in the morning creates an obstacle as its pressure. What are we willing to do? We have to get up and do this or that or wherever you're at in your day. Where challenges are faced, what is our emotional limit that we're putting in? Then we have this extra burst of perseverance happening when the moon trines the sun, or moon sextiles the sun. These two different elements of fire and air, they're fueling each other. Fire and air, fuel, fuel, fuel. Fire and air, fuel, fuel, fuel. So Venus at 20 degrees is about pure brawn and strength, survival of the fittest. It's, the MMA fighter going into the ring and dominating out of pure strength and willpower, with the cause and effect, the consequence of injuring self. Cauliflower ear. injuring, breaking your nose, eye socket, something like that, you know, where it's just like there's all this energy, all this strength going ahead, full steam ahead, but it's the sense of potentially injuring oneself because we're using our physical strength, our physical brawn. Now we have Mars at 20 degrees of Gemini, which is a similar energy, but instead of using our pure brute strength, we're using our wit. We're using our mind to overcome something. So there's a balance here between Venus and Mars, which is really beautiful. It's where do we use the muscle? Where do we use force? Where do we use the elbow grease to get the job done? Where do we use our minds? And this creating a trine up to the moon in the sign, in the technologically advanced sign of Aquarius, this is saying there's a better way to do this. This is saying instead of just, beating the eggs with a fork, we can have an egg beater. Instead of just whipping the potatoes with a fork, we have a mashed potato whipper. We have a blender. We have some sort of technological device. We have a way to do this that's not cheating ourselves, but it's using technology. It's using something, a different source. So it's using our minds and our strength to get together to use something, to utilize something that can get the same job done without injuring our physical bodies, without injuring or challenging the mind when it comes to communication, conversation. There's no sense about arguing about this, which comes first or what's a better way to do it. It's just the moon kind of shows us a way. And then similarly, as both of these elements, Venus and Mars at the 20 degrees of Aries and Gemini, is similar to the yin-yang, where one overpowers the other, but then just the same, that other overpowers the one. So there's this constant equal give and flow. And the 20 degrees of Aquarius is about not giving up in the sense of emotional defeat. So when it comes to push or shove, when our physical body is having a difficult time completing the task, when our mental mind is having a difficult job completing the task, not only are the mental and the physical working together, but we have this element where that sun was, that empowerment of, I'm not going to allow this to win over me. I'm not going to allow this to defeat me, and I'm going to pursue and overcome whatever obstacle I have in my way today, whatever that may be, with grace, using a little bit of muscle and a little bit of brain, not having to rely on one more than the other. Really, really cool energy. So it's just like, what kind of breakthrough ideas are we going to have? What kind of breakthrough ways are we going to be able to look at an obstacle, look at a hurdle? And the beauty about this is when the hurdle's there, but these planets are aligning in a way where there is no seemingly obstacle. There is no hurdle, and we can almost do this with ease. Cool day, my friends. Have a happy Tuesday. As always, I love you. Wish you enough. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Appreciate you. Feel your love right back. We'll see you tomorrow.